Hello! Guess what? We're going to jump right in and get this research paper thing going on this week, okay? So here's the very skinny version of what you need to do this week in order to fulfill the requirement in the assignment. If you'd look at step 3 in your course content, at the assignment 5.2 proposal, there's a list of 3 things that you need to gather up and compile into one document this week. The first one is your research thesis statement. This is a working thesis. What that means is that it's probably going to change over the course, but right now it's your focus, it's your target, it's the question you're trying to answer, it's the persuasion focus that you're taking with this particular assignment. By the way, side note, this is a persuasive or position paper. We're taking on a controversial issue now, not just a benign argument, but something that is clearly divisive even. And some of you have taken that effect with your argument. There's a fine line between the two. Okay, you may need to read some of your research before creating your thesis. Maybe do some soft research, maybe look around at what skims to the top first. An example would be if I am interested in some of these homeopathic and vitamin medications that I'm knowing that people are taking to keep healthy over the winter, but I'm concerned about how they might react with other medications. I might do a Google search on some of the medications and come up with a thesis statement about how we need more regulations on herbal medications so that we protect people from dangerous interactions between drugs. By the way, I borrowed that topic from a nursing major who used that for her paper once. Okay, the next part, so you have your working thesis. The next part is your outline. The college requires a formal outline. I'm a big emphasizer of making sure your pre-writing really works for you, but to fulfill the requirements for this course, you must also have a formal outline. I encourage you to consider a decimal outline versus a Roman numeral outline, but if you like the Roman numeral format, I understand. And again, online there are resources where if you would do a Google search on formatting an outline, you could probably find a number of templates. If you're having trouble with that, let me know and I'll do some research too. Okay, you may use, like I said, Roman numerals or decimals to break down your points. Let the outline really work for you. In other words, spend time really formulating this outline so that you can write your paper literally just looking off of your outline. Some of you may even want to consider putting sources within the outline so that you know where you want to drop in your certain ideas, and then when you go to write that paper, all those ideas and your sources will be right at just a one-page summary type of spreadsheet type look of things. Narrative outlines are sometimes helpful to some students. I do this a lot where I just start writing kind of, here's what I want to talk about this paragraph, I want to say something about this and this. All of a sudden I'm kind of writing my paper, so that might be an approach you could take as well. Okay, the third part of the proposal is your preliminary works cited in MLA form. This is a preliminary works cited. In other words, I don't expect that you've read all of your sources, but this should be the list of sources that you come up with this week that you think could be usable for your project. Before you turn in your final paper, you're going to want to take out the sources that didn't work and add in others that you're replacing them with. This minimum right now is 5 sources for the preliminary outline. It should be in MLA form. The bonus here is that once you've done it, you don't have to do it again. So once you put these sources on, all you have to do is some quick editing, adding, subtracting sources out, and your works cited is done for your final paper because you'll have it all typed up in the polished form. Again, 3 things: working thesis, outline, and preliminary works cited. All 3 things of these can change before you turn in your final paper. Your outline is going to change. Your thesis is going to change. Your your MLA works cited page is going to change. I'll guarantee it. But this is where we're going to start. This is like you saying, here is my master plan for my research. That's what we need to focus on this week. If you're struggling at all, if you're not sure of your topic, if you're nervous about getting started, would you please let me know and I can help you out, maybe even troubleshoot some sources for you. One last thing in relation to this. I really strongly suggest that you use the databases through OhioLink or Info Ohio. This is a website that you have free access to because you're a Northwest State student. I believe there are some materials in the classroom that will give you instructions on this. Contact the college if you're not sure how to access this. This stuff is really super helpful in getting good, solid research. We don't want just, anybody's perspective on any topic. We want databases, professional journals that give us research that is relatively unbiased, or if it is biased, it's well supported by facts and not propaganda. I'll close with this illustration. I once had a student do a paper on how the way that we market milk as a health drink for children and women is actually just a political propaganda scheme. And she went on to talk about how milk is not really that healthy for you. Unfortunately, one of her main sources for her information was a website called milksucks.com. Folks, that's propaganda. That doesn't work for real research at an academic level. That's somebody's rant space. It's not research material. There may be truth in that website, but it's so mired in with propaganda techniques, even in the title itself, that it's rather offensive from an academic perspective. So you want to use those databases. If you need help with those, again, please write. I can give you resources that I have. Also check out the classroom. There's a research resources area in the classroom as well. Thanks so much for your time and attention. Have a great week.